All right, let's talk about souls versus spirits. I have talked about this before, received some incredible revelations on this. We're only able to receive that which we are ready to receive. It makes sense, right? And so I had to overcome a lot of religious indoctrination in my beliefs and in my work, and face a lot of sabotage, a lot of, energy coming against me to shut me down and shut me up. Women are supposed to have their lips zipped, sit there and look pretty. This is where I want you to muscle test. There could be some cognitive dissonance with the information that I'm going to share about the soul versus the spirit. Don't take my word for it. Connect to source. Ask for yourself. And I'm going to give you some questions. Do we have a soul outside of the inorganic matrix? No. Is it for our highest good to not have a soul outside of the inorganic matrix? Yes. So it's for our best and highest good to not have a soul outside of this matrix, and we don't have a soul out of this matrix. Last week I said that I was finding a whole bunch of people that didn't have souls, and I felt that the souls went to New Earth. Everything I share with you, the way that I look at it is this huge puzzle, and I keep putting more and more pieces together. Everything is true based in that understanding, and then you add in more pictures and more parts, and you're like, oh my gosh, this is like so far beyond what I ever fathomed. Now ask this: do I have a spirit outside the matrix? Yes. Is it for my best and highest good to have a spirit outside of the matrix? Yes. Is our soul connected to cosmic source, which I look as the creator of all the universes and everything? The pure, like, white light source is what I see it as. Is our soul connected to that source? No. Is our spirit? Yes. So for me, muscle testing, strong is a yes, weak is a no. You can do this too, free video, or if you really want to dig in and get some awesome information about grounding yourself, learning how to balance your chakras, correcting inversions that are hindering you from muscle testing, check out my class on my website, rootsrestoredwellness.com. You need this. Stop being a victim. We all have access to source. You don't need a box to get access to source. So is it for our best and highest good to eject the soul from this vessel? Yes. Okay. So we're going to start there. I hope you were muscle testing with me. Get your own answers for yourself. Take what resonates for you. What I was shown is that so many of us chose to come into the matrix. We've talked about soul contracts before, indigo soul contracts. I just did a whole series on the indigo threes. I see us as these free sovereign beings, and we're like, we want to go assist Earth and help. And part of the suit that we put on to be able to come into the matrix comes with a soul. And the soul, I've actually seen it pictured in some movies before, and I can't think of it, but it looks like this big trilobite. Think of like the trilobite on your spine, and it like branches around and digs in. So it's like this false, I see it as your nervous system, your brain, and your soul. These are all matrix mind control equipment. Ask, is this true? Yes. So we come in and we have to put this on. It's an agreement that we made coming in here. And everything around us wants us to truly just focus on your mind. Focus on your nervous system where you're feeling pain. Why do we have a nervous system that only causes pain? It's all from the matrix. And the soul, which is artificial. Ask, are there any contracts on spirits? No. Are there soul contracts? I've talked about them for years. Yes. Why is the soul bound in all of these contracts? Yet the spirit is actually free. And we believe the lie of the matrix that we are our soul. And thus, as the soul, we are enslaved into this AI matrix. Once we realize that we have a free spirit, it's like the first step of being free. You have to recognize it first. Okay, good. I didn't lose anybody yet. Thank you for sticking on. I want you to go and you're going to ask about this. Every question you could possibly think. If you know how to muscle test, you can get the answers to everything. Mira, it's called advanced muscle testing. And maybe Bobby Joe can put a link to the class in the comments. And so what I was shown is when we come into we get a soul. And I've talked very much about the soul fractals, tracks, all of this. We really did come in with this Indigo 3 mission, but in order for us to do it, we had to accept the soul contract, binding. And everything in the matrix is meant to shatter our soul. Like a Horcrux. That word came to mind last night. Where these beings will divide parts of themselves and put them all over so you can never really kill them until you get all the pieces. The soul is kind of like that, and the matrix is meant to shatter the soul, make you think that you are the soul. And we actually can't ever get out of here unless we reassemble all aspects of the soul, because we came in with the whole soul. And this is what happens. We collect back all pieces of our soul. I don't want to forget to talk about this. Okay. Collect back all the pieces, and then we integrate the soul into our spirit, which means the spirit consumes the soul and transmutes it to pure light energy, if your spirit is aligned to the light. And then the next part of the process, when you're ready, is to integrate the spirit into your consciousness. The consciousness extends the universe. That is really our truest form, our consciousness, but we, instead in the matrix, have been given a mind, a brain. There's a lot of people who say the brain is like a computer, right? I've said that. Quantum healing, the brain is like a computer. It holds memories of everything that's ever happened to you. It is a computer. It's AI equipment. No different than what they're doing with all the R marks right now and trying to make you operating systems and transmitters, receivers, controlled. Why does the military solely focus on mind control? Why aren't they working on spirit control or consciousness control? Those are free and they cannot be contained. Yet they can control your mind. They can control and contract and bind your soul. They can harvest your soul. They cannot harvest your spirit. So it is time, with this energy flooding in that started on January 5th, I felt like this was going to be a very powerful portal and a very powerful time of beautiful energy coming in. Guess what it's doing? It's releasing the veil so we can start to reconnect and remember more of who we are. And I am not my soul. And I've talked very much about the soul in the past. And I just didn't have the full picture yet. And I would guess that I still don't have the full picture. Last night I was laying in bed, and this has to do with the soul, and I was getting spiritually attacked with my allergies, and my daughter, she was restless and she's like afraid to go to sleep. She's like, they're attacking me. What I was shown is that aspects, like parts of my nose and parts of her stomach and parts of our bodies, were actually in this huge holding cell for spirits, for souls under Israel. And if you've been following my work for the last several months, you know that I went to Butte and I found that it was a darkness stronghold. And I found millions of soul fractals that had been locked down there. And there ended up being eight different darkness strongholds in this quadrant that I'm supposed to be working on. And those are all taken out now. But there were 13 total quadrants and 13 groups of people, or individuals, nobody else is doing the work, that we're supposed to take out the strongholds in each of their quadrants. Well, nobody has done them. This is where I'm frustrated. I'm like, nobody's doing it. They're still harvesting soul pieces and locking us down. As long as they're holding our souls hostage, we can't get out of the matrix. just checking if this is true. It feels like wrong to say that in a way, because I'm like, we're free. If we know we have a spirit, why the hell do we need to worry about the soul? For some reason we do at this point, and it might just be my limited understanding of this. But I saw all these parts of us that were stuck here in this huge stronghold in Israel, under Israel. The energy just feels dark there. And so I was up, I slept maybe 3 hours all night doing spiritual warfare and collective work for everybody who's not doing it. And when I cleared that, millions and trillions of soul particles and fractals and pieces were able to be restored this morning. I didn't do all the clearing last night because I was just so tired. I did it this morning, cleanse those, or put them back in. And collectively, I am working on this project of restoring the soul, integrating into the spirit, integrating into the consciousness so that we can ascend the heck out of here. You don't have to receive the work. You don't have to believe it. I encourage you to learn muscle testing and to start asking about some of this. Another thing that I was shown, we're doing great on time today, was that we are actually not the age that we think we are. Time is speeding up, and I forgot my notes. I was writing them down in my kitchen last night as my husband was making dinner. He's so sweet. Yeah. So he made dinner because I was like, I can't do it tonight. And so I'm sitting there writing notes. And I think we are aging 10 times faster right now. And when I say aging, like time is moving 10 times faster than it was a year ago. And so your true biological age, I'm just going to have you muscle test this for yourself. So thanks, April. 1 day equals 10. I found that when we ascend, it's actually going to be 1 day equals 20. So we'll continue to notice this speeding up. And something interesting is to ask your true biological age. And I'm not going to tell you mine because you guys are going to freak out. You need to do it for yourself and you have to break down the boxes and limitations. If you're like, for me, I'm 40. If I'm like, oh, like maybe I'm 42 or like 39, I'm putting boxes. You have to break them all down to really get answers on this stuff. And it's hard to do. That's why I say we're often our biggest obstruction, because we are building these boxes and we're not allowing the true information to come through because of our own limitations. And something fun to ask is, what is the age of your consciousness? Mine yesterday was like 5,200 years old. If we were to measure based on our perception of Earth time, it would be the equivalent of 5,200 years old. This morning, after my little shower and like releasing all this rage energy for the Earth, I was actually 5,900 years old in my consciousness. And again, time is just, it's relative. It's a matrix construct. So how old are you really? I will say that my biological age is actually physical age is actually over 100. I'm like, I look dang good, but I have aged a lot in the last year. If you guys could see all my wrinkles, I don't do Botox. My lighting makes me look beautiful and like I'm 12, like 15, but I'm not. I have a lot of wrinkles, okay? But my biological age is only, and everything working in my body is actually very young. But this external worldly sense, I'm well over 100. And so our time is very much speeding up. So just ask questions about that and find out some answers for yourself, and you can start to piece things together. This is what I do. This is how I get all this information for you. I never stop asking questions. Thank you, Kimberly. And when I was a little girl, I wanted to die so that I would have all the answers. I'm like, when I die, I can finally get all the answers to everything, because there's so many questions I have and nobody can answer them. Guess what? I can get my own answers now, right from source. I don't have to wait till I die for the veil to be released. And you can do this too. It's not some secret occult activity, which means hidden mystery. It doesn't have to be that way. You can be free to do this yourself. So learn how to muscle test. Bobby Joe posted a link for you. So that is a little bit of the soul, spirit, aging, time, construct, matrix I've been working on. And actually, all of this has pretty much come since last Thursday through today. So it's just flooding in. Usually these times of, activated human resonance, intense energies, portals, is when the information starts flooding in, and it does awaken people to a greater degree. And that is why I am like, yay, we want the solar flares. We want all of this energy coming in, because the only way to our freedom is us waking up. We have to realize, like, we're not free in all the ways that we're not free. And then we have to break down the walls that are holding us in.